Hello. It's been a while. Welcome, everybody, to the Morning Glory podcast. I think this is episode 45. I'm not quite sure. I think it is. I think if I go back and listen to the older episodes, I think I've accidentally mistaken two episodes for one, for number-wise. Maybe I'll go back and change those numbers of the podcast to like 0.1 or something like that. I don't know, but if this is episode 45, it's a new location for me. We are filming this in Ottawa, Ontario, for Patreon. If you guys are listening, I want to thank all of you who enjoy listening to the Morning Glory podcast. So here is what goes down: is I go with a yearly schedule. Okay, I've been doing this for almost 2 years. Okay, when it comes to football season, I kind of focus more on the podcasting thing for football, whatever's out there for podcasting wise. I look for work. For the past 2 years, I've been just like moving and working different jobs, right? So, so that's what's going on right now. Is we're in Ottawa, and so yeah. How it goes with me is half the season until February, I focus on the football part. As soon as football is over, as soon as Super Bowl is done, I get back to the comedy thing. If you guys are unaware, every July in Montreal, they hold a festival called the Just for Laugh Comedy Festival. They bring some of the best comedians in the world to this festival. And that is what I've been trying to do for the past 4 years, is every July. Actually, it starts in March. The forms come out in March where you can sign up to be part of a volunteer. You can be part of media. You can be an artist. I am definitely a comedian artist, so I should be able to get into this place. It's really fun, because I get to collaborate and meet other comedians. I met some fantastic comedians named Angelo Sarukas, who's been like a mentor to me. He's best friends with Russell Peters, and so he monetizes. He what is the word? He keeps an eye out for me. Monetize. He keeps them. Isn't that like paying money or something like that? Get money for being monetized? I don't know. Anyways, he keeps a monitor on me. He keeps an eye on me. All right. The other guy that I met a couple years ago, his name was Steven Castillo. He is a writer for Saturday Night Live currently. He's also a stand-up comedian, and he's just one of the pros that are out there working in the industry. Right. This is what I want to do, but you know what? Since America has changed they've never changed the rules, but the fact they don't allow people like me into your country because I smoke a herb, it sucks. I can't do my job, right? So all the Americans out there, get your head out of your asses and fucking legalize marijuana already, so people like us can actually do our jobs and entertain you, the bored people out there in the world. Yeah, so if you're unaware, the United States has a rule that if you are involved in any of the cannabis industry, you are not allowed to enter the States. I do a fucking podcast on tasting strains for cannabis, and I'm pretty sure if they do the records on me, I'm not allowed in the States because of all the cannabis I smoke with video-wise. It's like half the stuff I do is promoting cannabis. But whatever. I mean, hopefully down the line that changes. You know? In the meantime, I focus more on the Canadian part of the comedy industry, because Canada is full of rich comedians here. You know? Maybe I should do more stuff in Europe down the road. I should maybe start looking into flights into going to the UK. I have a friend, Jordan Duchard, who we did shows in Vancouver together. He now lives in Europe. That's what he's doing out there. He's doing comedy out there. Yeah, and that's kind of the point why I moved, is so I can focus on me doing more stand-up. Here is the problem, everybody, what I was having. I was living in a town 2.5 hours from Vancouver. I was busing for 4 years, or 3-4 years to Vancouver. And it would take 2.5 to 3 hours just to get there. And then after, I would do an open mic for free on Wednesdays. Then I would bus back at midnight. And I wouldn't get back until 3 o'clock in the morning. So, this is probably going to be helping me easier with getting more stage time. Ottawa is very local to a lot of comedy clubs here. Also, I can travel to not Vancouver, can't do that anymore. Montreal is 2 hours away. It's actually less of a travel to go to Montreal than it is for me now going to Vancouver. So I look forward to going to Montreal. That is where like some of the richest parts of stand-up comedy is, because the fact that they're bilingual, so they can promote more out there. Yeah, so that's really cool. There's also Toronto, which is about 4 hours. Hamilton, which is closer to Toronto. I've got a buddy named DJ Roy, who is a comedian that I did a show with. We've been keeping in touch. I told him that I might be moving out there to Ontario, and he just had his birthday. So I'm wondering if I could, if there's work out there for me, I should link up with this guy, because he can headline shows if he wants. He actually used to be in the porn industry, so he talks pretty filthy on his stuff, and we've done shows together, and we have fun, right? So I would have no problem if me and DJ could put some shows together. We can get some paid gigs going, because down the road you got to find comedians that you can work with, and this is definitely a guy that we can put some shows together with and see how it goes. We've got nice chemistry, and he's been on a podcast of mine in the past. He's a fun guy, so I'll get in touch with him about doing some road gigs. But yeah, just the focus for me right now is doing the rest of the football season. Maybe get a little bit more stage time, practice, and get some new jokes on stage. And then when Super Bowl is ending, that's where I go back into wanting. This is when February comes along. I really want to be on stage at least 5 days a week. So I'm trying to schedule myself ahead of time where I should be. Should I do a show once a week in Montreal on a Monday? Should I do a show once a week in Toronto on a Friday? I have no problem traveling every day of the week in order to get stage time to go to different places. So, I do want to thank all of you on Patreon who are the $5 tier members who actually help and support the stand-up comedy that I do. You are the ones that actually have allowed me to go travel to Vancouver and do those comedy shows. So I thank you so much for what you've done for me in the past 2 years. I want to thank people like Indigo Crystal. I want to thank Ray Sean. I want to thank Johnny Ray Sinister. I don't know if Johnny's going to come back to the Patreon family. We've got to give a shout out to him, right? He's been with us from the beginning. I want to thank Nigel. Nigel, do you even fucking listen to us? We missed him, man. Hopefully, you wanted more dollar stuff, and this is why I'm putting out the Morning Glory podcast or stuff like that. So shout out to Nigel. He's been original from the very beginning. And then who else? The $5 members. The Joe Cronin, man. Hopefully everything's all well with Joe Cronin. I've been busy moving and doing my shit here, so I don't know what's going on. Then we got Urban Heretic, what's going on, man? Shout out to you. Hopefully, one of my longtime friends. Hopefully, everything is all as well. I think you guys have been quiet lately. It's all right. I've been kind of quiet, just focusing on myself. So hopefully everything's all as well with you, bud. And The Last Real Heels. Go check them out. The Unfancy Podcast. I'm subscribed to them on Patreon. They're good guys. They've been around for a long time. That's why I'm here supporting them too. Just some days when I do a podcast with them, I think I'm like unorganized and boring. So I go into like a depression mode sometimes. Like, oh fuck, man. They might think of me as some like crazy fucking dumbass or something like that. But no, it's just me being a fucking idiot. Who else? Brian Himmelfarb, the newest one. Thank you so much, Brian Himmelfarb. Hopefully everything is all as well with you, man. You told me to go find a strain that's like piranha. It's like a piranha plant kind of thing. Unfortunately, I have not found a strain for that. Speaking of strains, we have a bunch of new episodes recorded of Taste of Strain. They are all uploaded to Patreon in the raw, uncut versions. So what I've done is, for all the people out there that are paying for the $20 tiers, you guys are like the producers of everything. So you guys get raw footage of the starting of how things are filmed together. The background scenes, like you get to see everything. That is unedited. So that is why I upload those to the $20 tier. So the people that are producing the show can see the uncut version. There's no edits or anything like that. And then once it goes into editing mode, they see the difference. And then they get to go back and be like, hey, this is the benefit that I didn't get to see rather than the other people, right? So it's like. I'm trying to just balance out things. Like I'm thinking of a producer mind if I'm doing a TV series. That's just I'm trying to make the producers feel happy first before putting it out to other people before they actually see the director's cut or something, right? So there's lighting going on. I want to thank Kay Drummond for allowing me to use her lighting for shows now. And the high quality camera that we're doing for Taste of Strain is amazing, man. It is amazing. I can't wait to go back on stage and do some stand-up comedy and get some stuff filmed, especially in high quality. I want to go on stage before I forget my set. It's been a while since I've done a stand-up set. I think it was August was the last time I've done a set. That's over 4 months. But I needed time away from that because I couldn't afford to do it anymore. And also the Greyhound buses have stopped running in Vancouver, so I no longer could have taken a bus back at midnight. I would have to wait till 6 o'clock in the morning to take a bus back to home. So, yeah, it's just things change. I don't know what the plans are for me down here in Ottawa. I just want to focus on my comedy part. I want to focus on just getting the football season done. That's kind of me. I just want to finish what I wanted to do from the beginning. And I want to get back to putting more stuff out there for you on Patreon. I'm way behind with stuff, so I'm trying to catch up with a lot of stuff. I've caught up with a lot of JB's stuff. By the way, you can go vote for me for Blogger of the Month for November if you guys want. I really appreciate it. Right now I'm in the lead, not by too much. I think there's like a couple of days to vote on this on the survey, but JB has won it 6 months in a row. Come on, Koopa Troopas, step your game up. I've been busting my ass trying to keep this network active. It's I can't do it. Sometimes I can't do it daily though. Sometimes people don't like the stuff I put out, but you know what? I fucking bust my ass to make sure that I'm doing something right out there when it comes to the football sideline study thing. Go check it out if you guys haven't yet. Shout out to all of you on Patreon. Mellow Yellow, I want to give a shout out to you. Hopefully everything was all as well with you, bud. What are the Patreon members that I forget? Caitlin Drummond, Brian Sheridan. Thank you very much, Brian Sheridan, for being part of my my sideline study shows. Hopefully everything is all as well with you, bud. Who else? Bobbit. Got to give a shout out to Bobbit. Yo, Bobbit, well done this week on the sideline study, bro. If I missed anybody, I got to wrap it up because this is going to go on YouTube. Thanks, everybody, for joining me.